Yo, yo, yo. What up, peoples? What is going on? My music stopped and everything. I'm sorry. Let's keep it going. Sorry. I was in the middle of a conversation there, so I wasn't the start screen was up for a minute or so. Sorry. Apologize. Hope everybody's doing good. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope you had a good Monday. We got video gaming news for today, July 18th, and then we're going to dive into, should be day 10 of Dave the Diver. I think that's where we're at. Is that correct? Day 10 of Dave the Diver, dude. Should be a good day. We'll have fun, man. It'll be good times, as always, and I'm ready to get in it, man. It's good to see you guys. Let's do this, man. Let's get into the video gaming news segment so we can go play some games. Check it out. This is what we're listening to this morning, by the way. Before it quit on its own. Steam, please fix your music player, please. BPM, Bullets Per Minute soundtrack. Amazing game. I play the soundtrack a lot because it is full of bangers. I love this soundtrack. I play it a lot because of that fact. It's one of those soundtracks where I can just let it run, man. It's very, very good. I like it a lot. The game is also excellent. Indie dev. FPS, rhythm-based, first-person shooting game. Very good stuff. Go check both out. Show some love for the indie devs, baby. Cool. We'll go ahead and pause that. Let's get into the news. See what we got. ah, yeah. We talked a lot about this yesterday. Yo, Davey, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? We talked about this yesterday. We found out yesterday that basically, Sony got their 10-year deal. Sony agreed to their 10-year deal finally through with Microsoft once they realized that this Activision Blizzard deal is going to come to fruition. As much as they tried to make it look anti-competitive and tried to hinder this deal and kind of prevent it, it's happening. And PlayStation finally said, okay, we'll take 10 years worth of Call of Duty. Now, PlayStation would be in a much better spot right now had they oh, are you? Oh, sick, Davey. Nice, dude. Let me know what you think, man. That's awesome. Dude, I haven't really played any of the modern Doom games. I played old school Doom a lot. I haven't played any of the modern Doom games, and I own like one or two of them too. I need to play them. Maybe we'll get into a little bit of it during like Scaretober, or maybe right before Scaretober or something. Let me know what you think, man. So this whole debacle is now, originally the 10-year offer that Sony had was to include a lot of their original, PlayStation titles like Crash Bandicoot, things like that, along with Call of Duty. Well, now their 10-year deal is exclusive just to Call of Duty. And what people need to expect is that a lot of those old games, Tony Hawk, Crash Bandicoot, things like that used to be on PlayStation are probably going to be Xbox and PC exclusives moving forward, which is going to piss a lot of PlayStation gamers off. But look, those PlayStation gamers have nobody to be mad at other than PlayStation themselves. Honestly. I mean, when it really comes down to it. And, I don't know. It's a tough thing to address because if you're, looking at everything from Sony's point of view, yeah, they didn't want this deal to happen because they knew that it would make things difficult for them in the fact they would have to change their business strategy. So they did everything they could to try and make it look anti-competitive. But I think most people knew this deal was going to go through eventually anyways. And they put themselves in a bad spot. So I don't know. We'll read it. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be they're going to be a lot of upset PlayStation fans with the titles that formerly used to be known as PlayStation games that will no longer be that anymore. Gonna be upset. Oh, Xbox Live Gold ending after 18 years as Microsoft launches Game Pass Core. Interesting. Diablo 4 class chameleons rejoice playing multiple characters about to get easier. And the UK games industry is revealing some plans to restrict loot boxing. Europe's getting pretty tight on the whole gamba stuff, loot boxes, anything that can be looked at as any kind of gambling mechanic. They're really they're crunching down on it, man. They don't like it very much over there. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, that felt great though. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Oh man. Ooh. All right. That's four articles right there off the main page, man. Let's go. It's a news day. Every day's a news day. But it's looking thick. Looking thick today. Another 5 games will leave Xbox Game Pass soon. We'll take a look at those. New laws might require gaming handhelds have replaceable batteries. Um, I wonder what this means. Does this mean? I doubt they're talking about going back to having to stuff like a bunch of AAA batteries in a handheld, but I think what they're probably going to say is an easily replaceable uh, modern type battery. Where some of these, like we've even noted that, like quite often, if you need to replace a battery, because sometimes these batteries, and they're not nearly as bad nowadays as they used to be, but the lithium ion battery packs and stuff that are rechargeable and everything, for a long time, even in smartphones and handheld devices of any kind, if they got temperature flux enough, would cause these things to bulge, and they would really the battery itself would just lose a lot of its structural integrity, and it would bulge and lose its ability to hold charge, and so they would need to be replaced. But the last time I did one was in like a 2DS, I think. You could see the battery, like, because there's actually a place on the back where, a lot of these devices you can dive into them and stuff, but you could see on the back of the 2DS where this battery was starting to bulge and flex the plastic cover and stuff. And so I bought a replacement. I replaced it. Everything's fine. But there's something to be said for easily replacing these batteries as opposed to having to like dive into it. A lot of people that don't really have the technical know-how or prowess to dive into replacing these kinds of things, sometimes it's a very daunting thing. So this might be what this is talking about, and we'll take a look and see. There's definitely something to be said for making things easily fixable and easily replaceable. all the way across the board. Buttons, batteries, you name it. Two games available today with Game Pass. We've probably seen this, but we'll take a look. Oh man, I need to move my here. There we go. My bad. Forgot to move my camera after playing Dave yesterday. We got the Game Pass core stuff up. Baldur's Gate 3 boasts 17,000 possible endings. That's pretty incredible. We hit on that. 18 new PS Plus Extra and Premium games available to download now. Make sure everybody's aware of what we've got on that subscription platform. Wait, what? For which one? Are you talking about the Baldur's Gate 3 thing? For all those endings? No, I seriously doubt it, dude. To get every single ending? No, there's no way they would do that. If they do, they're out of their minds. No way, dude. No way. No way, dude. I mean, I'm not saying they won't do it, but I'd be surprised if they did. God, that would be mauling, dude. The people would freak out. They'd be like, there's no way, dude. I'll take those balls too, though. I love balls. That's right. That's right. What up, Ferret? Boom, boom. What's up, brother? What's going on, man? Happy Tuesday, bro. Yo, yo, yo. What it do, bro? Windows 11, Windows 11's July update could fix your pesky gaming stutters. Windows 11's been a bit of a hassle for people on the gaming side of things. If you're on a Windows PC and you upgraded to Windows 11, anytime previously, really, it's been a rough bake-in for gaming. Yeah. Oh, sick, dude. Nice. Did you get anything good? Nice, dude. So we'll take a quick peek and see what we got there. Oh, what? Red Dead Redemption 4K 60 frame remaster is mind-blowingly gorgeous. We haven't seen anything on this yet. Little bit of good. Nice, dude. That's better than none of good. Yeah, so we knew this was coming, right? This game got re-rated in Korea, which was a huge indicator we had Red Dead Redemption coming back to us. And usually that means if it gets re-rated anywhere, and normally games get rated first in areas like regions like Korea, Brazil, stuff like that, before it'll get rated in like the US and things. And that's how we kind of know that there's something coming. And when a game gets re-rated, like Red Dead did, we know that usually means a remaster or a remake. But we haven't seen anything on it yet in any kind of official capacity. So let's see if they have something real here for us. All of your bundles and purchases will follow you into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Let's see what that means. Crunchyroll announces One Punch Man World video game with its first trailer. It's a mobile game. It's a mobile game, but we'll look at it for peoples. We'll look at it. Oh, did you? Nice, fair. Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll pull it up. We'll look at it, man. Yeah, we talked about that already. There's a lot of disdain about that. Any game that comes out, especially uh, games that are a continuation in a series that haven't normally implemented this, online only mechanic, you know, they always get kind of blasted for it. I can see both sides of it. I can see both sides of it, man. I see the side of it, from gamers and not wanting it. I see the side of it from developers and how it can be an issue when a game is more aimed towards a multiplayer environment, of making it easier on them and a development standpoint and a safer kind of environment to keep everything online all the time. I see both sides. We talk about it a lot, but gamers don't like it, dude. Gamers don't like it. It's DRM is basically what it is too, and you know, I'm not a fan of piracy, but it's one of those cat and mouse games too that's just always going to be cyclical and just a big mouse wheel. Sega's holding a big video game sale on Amazon right now. Yeah, we got that up. Starbreeze shows off hidden Payday 3 trailer after nobody finds it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, dude. I gotta send this to Cash. Hold on. We'll pull this up. I'll have to send that to Cash. Cash will probably want that. You see this? Streamer makes widget to allow chat to play Ocarina of Time. It's got like a little link on the screen and everything that plays it like Casual love that, dude. If it was Ganon, I'd use it. Skylines 2 releases deep dive video on city services. This is going to be kind of a more of a we'll see what we got there. We've looked at City Skylines 2 stuff already, but we'll see. Anybody's interested, we'll try to see what we can get out of that. Dude, this is going to be a thick news day, dude. You guys ready? Good night. We're thick with news this morning, baby. Remnant 2 reveals the Hunter archetype in stunning new gameplay. Remnant 2 looks really good, dude. I'm really interested in playing Remnant 2. One second. Concerned Ape teases what's coming in Stardew Valley's 1.6 update. I mean, we already kind of knew a lot of what was coming in 1.6. It's going to be very heavy with some features for modding the game, which there's already a lot of modding in the game. But apparently there's going to be a little bit more maybe content than what we initially suspected. But let's see what Eric Barone and Concerned Ape, aka Concerned Ape, has for us in the new Stardew Valley update. Microsoft and UK regulator given extra time to resolve Activision deal issues. Okay. Let's see what that means specifically. Assassin's Creed codename Jade. Beta launches in August for anybody interested. Is that their mobile one? I think that might be their mobile one. Was Jade their mobile? I think Hex is like their Assassin's Creed platform thing. I can't keep it all straight. There's just so much of it. I'm not going to cover this, dude. We've got enough stuff up today. Armored Core 6, release date, story, gameplay, and more. If you don't know the release date, I'll give you that real quick. It's coming up soon. August 25th, okay? August 25th. I'll go ahead and link this for you guys if you're interested. It will be on PC, Windows, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. We've seen a lot of gameplay out of this. I'm hyped to see this. I love mech games. I think From Software is a pretty solid developer, but they do a terrible job of PC releases. If you're planning on playing Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon on PC, do yourself a favor and don't pre-order that, and do not buy that on day one. My advice is to wait. Wait until that game has been out for a couple to a few days and find out how it's performing on PC. From Software is a developer that is always heavily focused on ensuring that their console versions of games perform well, and then they just port it over to PC on release. It is, dude, I feel the same way, Ferret. I feel the same way. But, you know, I don't want to be that guy that goes, you shouldn't ever pre-order anything. There are still good companies out there doing good things. They're few and far between, but I don't want to say that there aren't some companies that might deserve to. They've shown that they can do good things, and they deserve. If you're hyped about some of their games, they don't deserve to have you go ahead and buy into their products on release or maybe pre-release or whatever. There aren't very many of them, but I don't want to just blanket the whole industry and go, don't ever. I mean, it almost feels like we should be doing that. You know what I mean? It almost does feel like we should be doing that anymore because, the pre-release. I will say this: the pre-release gimmicks of what they offer people to buy in early and really, throw more coal, as it were, into the hype train and stuff is kind of gross. It's pretty gross, and I'm very, very hesitant. I have been for a long time now about pre-ordering any games. But I know that the reality of the situation is that there's still a lot of people out there that don't look at it that way, right? So I try not to just be too over the top on that side because it's just not realistic, right? Well, and this so if I don't get something extra for doing a pre-order, I probably won't pre-order. Yeah, not true all the time, but a lot of the time. And see, that's where I have an issue. I have an issue because a lot of times what you get with like where they try to entice people to buy in early with the pre-order stuff where it just feels gross to me is like you'll get 3 days of early access, you know? Which how much does that actually and that's not it. I'm going to keep going here, but that's one of the things is like you'll get 3 to 5 days of early access when how much does that really matter if the game performs like a piece of crap? You know what I mean? And really all you're getting is into the game early to be one of the first ones to figure out that the game feels like crap. You know what I mean? Um, because that is the case quite often nowadays, right? Games just come out all the time feeling really, really trash on release. Again, not all the time, but quite often. And then the other things you'll get is like a cosmetic or you know and I'm not talking about like pre-ordering like a collector's edition or something like that. Pre-ordering a collector's edition, I can understand, especially with something that's a limited edition. They're not going to print a whole lot of it, and especially if it's something like Tears of the Kingdom. We all knew they were probably going to do a pretty solid job on that game. And buying in early for like a collector's edition or whatever, dude, I understand that. I understand that. But just for any moderate AAA release where they're trying to gimmick you into buying things early on the premise of getting into the game a couple of days earlier than somebody else, and giving you a cosmetic hat or a pair of glasses to wear or something like that. It's like dude, I hate that developers do that. I know it's a tried and true business tactic, but that's where I wish people would really stop buying in. Yeah, and you're not wrong. Yeah, it would have to be something worth it. And every respective person is going to have a different idea of what is worth it to them, right? But I'm along the lines with you. I understand that sentiment. But the whole pre-order thing, I think we've as lovers of games, we've got to be at least much more diligent about the way we go about viewing what titles are going to be worth pre-ordering. And a lot of it comes down to have these companies shown us a history of doing good? And if they have, then it's probably okay to buy into that pre-order. And if they haven't, if they've had a history of troubles, someone like CDPR, you know what I mean, just off the top of my head, um, probably not worth a pre-order. You know, I think that's where people really have to start paying attention as gaming fans to what companies like what their the track records behind these developers and publishers, right? And I think that plays a huge role into how much you can trust. It doesn't always prove true, right? We saw recently with Arcane and Redfall, that's pretty bad. Arcane traditionally has done really good stuff, but Redfall was a pretty bad thing from them, and so it's not always going to hold true. But I think if you at least look at the history from developers and publishers, it gives you something better to go off of rather than just not taking a look at anything, not basing it off of anything, and just continuing to feed that industry beast, you know what I mean, of why this has become such a big gimmick, for getting people to buy into pre-orders, right? But I agree. I understand where you're coming from. This, I am really, really psyched about this game, but I cannot recommend enough to people that are wanting to play this on PC to just stay away from it until after it releases. From Software is terrible. They are not good at PC games. They don't develop their games for PC. They develop their games for console and they port their games to PC. And it's evident, I mean, like blaringly, flashing lights, evident that this is what they do. The games don't perform optimally, and you can see all kinds of areas in which the games were optimized for a console platform and not for a PC platform, which is just a huge indicator that the game definitely, these games that they release are not made for PC. They're not optimized for PC. They're just made for console and then ported over before release. And that's not acceptable. If you're going to release a game for a platform, it should be optimized for that platform before release. So I've been bit. Elden Ring was terrible on PC. I trudged all the way through that game. I'm not going to let them bite me again. And if they show me they're doing better in the future, cool, man. But just let the game come out. Don't feed them money off something they've shown in the past that they're not good at. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get across to people. If these companies have shown you that they're not going to give you what you're paying for in the past, you shouldn't be paying for it in the future, right? Present or the future, until they show you they can do better. All right, dude, we got a lot. Let's kick it off right here. Davy's article right here. Davy is ready to pursue the ultimate trophy challenge in getting all 17,000 possible endings for Baldur's Gate 3. Right, Davy? We pulled this article. We found this article this morning. Davey was like, there better not be a trophy for getting all those endings. Davey's a trophy hunter, dude. I was like, bro, if they actually have a trophy for having to get all of these endings, I'd be really surprised. All right. So, he said, heck yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 boasts 17,000 possible endings, according to one of the lead writers. A lead writer at Larian Studios has let slip that Baldur's Gate 3 has 17,000 possible endings for the anticipated role-playing game. Fextra Life mentioned in its latest Baldur's Gate 3 deep dive that it interviewed Crystal Ding, one of the game's lead writers, on the replayability of the RPG. Quote, she's working predominantly on the ending of the game. She's been working on that for 6 months. Just the ending of the game, which is incredible, they said. Quote, I asked her how many variations of the ending are there. And she told me that there were 17,000 variations of the ending. That statistic is determined by the volume of interlinking variables in the game and the player's choices that change the course of the story, and ergo doesn't necessarily mean that there are 17,000 individual endings. 17,000 people could theoretically play and see something different on the ending screen, explained Fextra Life. While it's an impressive number, it isn't surprising. Previously, Larian Studios has shown off how much stuff is in the game and announced Baldur's Gate 3 has triple the cinematic dialogue than the all three of the Lord of the Rings books. That works out to 174 hours of cinematics, or in other words, twice the length of every season of Game of Thrones together. Yeah. Absolutely, Ferret. Absolutely. And look, man, this is one of the the best CRPGs I've ever played. We talked about this the other day, you know what I mean, about the dialogue choices, and we, kind of segued from talking about the, story-driven, more, novel kind of esque games into, me needing a little bit more action in games that are story driven. This is what I'm talking about. Like, that's what made Pillars of Eternity so great for me, right? Pillars of Eternity was so fantastic because all of your choices in the world, you would come up all kinds of choices within character to character interactions within your party, or you would get addressed by the gods of the world, as it were. You know what I mean? In different sections of the game, when different things would happen, just NPCs in the world, you would have different options for addressing different particular situations with NPCs and quests in the world, and it all affected in-game for both of those games, Pillars 1 and Pillars 2, and that is what made it so phenomenal. Everything you did had an effect on the world, and that's what is, you know what I mean? This is why people love these types of CRPGs so much. the depth, man. The depth of how fleshed out they are and giving you those options to you know, and a lot of it's, you know, dependent upon how you want to play the game. How is your character, you know, built? And what I usually try to do is determine, like, during character creation. Character creation, I kind of go through all the different choices. I determine what class of character I'm going to be. Like, normally, if I'm going to be a paladin or something, I'm going to be more of a, you know, a true lawful kind of character. But if I end up playing something like a rogue or, you know, like a mage, I'm gonna, like, if I try to play like a wizard or mage, I'm gonna be trying to run down like some kind of necromancer, you know, it's tree. So I'm gonna end up playing things a little bit more chaotic. And I think that's the thing, is that that's one of the great things about the immersion that these games offer, and the replayability of it also, right? So you can, like, play the game one way in creating a character one way, and then you can go back and play it again with a totally different character that you create, and then play through it with different choices, right? Not that you might not make some of the same choices, but, you know, just have a different mindset for your characters and play the game a different way and see how it pans out for you. You know, that's one of the things that's always been so amazing for me about really, really well done, like, RPGs, and especially CRPGs, like the Pillars games, and Baldur's Gate 3 sounds like it's going to be phenomenal, man. I'm actually getting more hyped about it, and the thing is, it's going to take so much time to play through this game. Finding time to throw it in the schedule is going to be rough, dude. Players won't see all 174 hours of cinematics in a single playthrough. However, it is evident that Larian Studios is encouraging fans to replay the game as much as possible to make the most of everything that's there. If Baldur's Gate 3 is able to balance both the passive storytelling with the sheer scope of choices available to the player, it might be one of the most successful Dungeons & Dragons games ever made. In other gaming news, Assassin's Creed fans can sign up for Codename Jade's closed beta now to immerse themselves in one of the most interesting points in China's history. We've got something up on Codename Jade. Where is this? So we'll read that next, but I'll link that for everybody. Was that it? No. There we go. We'll read this one next. Yeah, there's a lot of hype for Baldur's Gate 3, and I think rightfully so. The big thing is, you know, a lot of people have tasted this game for a while already, as it's been in, like, kind of an early access release phase on PC for a long time. PlayStation fans are going to get their first taste of it if they haven't already tried it on PC, if they're not a multi-platform player. So that'll be nice. And it gives them something to play other than Starfield, because this game is releasing on Starfield's release date, as PlayStation won't be getting that, right? So instead, Larian made the smart move and released this the same time Starfield releases for PS5. Although this game is releasing in roughly 2 weeks on PC, it'll release about a month later on PS5 to coincide with the release date of Starfield on Xbox. So PlayStation players will still have something else to play for a big release, which is good. That's good. This game looks good, dude. It looks cool. I'll link this for you guys if you're interested. So, segueing from the end of that article into this one, an Assassin's Creed codename Jade beta launches in August. Test will be available on Android and iOS. Yeah, that's what I thought. So Codename Jade is their mobile game. Yeah. The closed beta test will be available on Android and iOS, and registration is available through the game's official website. Codename Jade is a free-to-play game set to be published by Tencent's Level Infinite division after Ubisoft announced a major strategic partnership with the Chinese company last year. Explore the path of Jia. Is that how it's pronounced? Dude, I might have butchered that. What is going on? Sorry, guys. 1 second. There we go. I was kind of caught up. Sorry. Explore the path of Jia in Assassin's Creed codename Jade, set in the 3rd century BC, during the time of one of the first unified dynasties in China, says Level Infinite. An unprecedented era of trade and cultural exchange between East and West is just beginning. With this comes new challenges and threats lurking in the shadows. From the Great Wall outside the Empire's borders to the imperial capital of Xinjiang, journey through a world filled with ancient history and hidden dangers. Defend against Zhongnu and work to dismantle conspiracies, taking on greater responsibilities and facing new challenges. The game promises to offer players a huge open world to explore. Step into ancient China and journey through 2,000 years of history, explore the prestigious dynasties of the East, defend the Great Wall, and uncover the secrets of the terracotta warriors. Experience the breathtaking scenery of Xinjiang and the Imperial Center and mingle with Eastern merchants. More than 20 minutes of Assassin's Creed codenamed Jade gameplay footage leaked online last year. Yeah, video unavailable. They got DMCA, I'm guessing. Jade beta infiltration gameplay. There is this though. Let's see. So people can get a taste of maybe what this game is going to have to offer, and it again, mobile title. Yeah. Kaka! Sorry. Isn't it amazing how far, like, just mobile titles have come? I mean, just the evolution of mobile gaming. I mean, this is why handhelds, even in the major platform realm, have just become so prominent, right? It's pretty wild, man. Why is that dude looking at the wall? Oh, maybe it was like a scroll rack or something. Dude, the upper body strength on that flipping parkour right there. Good night. I need to start working out again.
For order and glory.
I was like, dude, you gotta loot that guy. Alright. Oh yeah, it's about over. Okay. So, Assassin's Creed Jade, beta. And, So that's a taste of what you can expect right there. So registration available through the game's official website. They've got a link all right here where you can go register. And the beta will kick off on August 3rd, so a couple weeks from now, okay? So if you're interested in trying to get into the beta for Assassin's Creed Jade, there you go. It's in chat. 18 new PS Plus Extra premium games available to download right now. We kind of talked about this yesterday, and I think previously as well, but definitely yesterday because of World War Z stuff. But this is what you need to know if you didn't already know. PS Plus Extra July lineup, all right? It Takes Two, Sniper Elite 5, SnowRunner, World War Z, The Ascent, Undertale, SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, Melty Blood Type Lumina, Dismantle, Circus Electrique, Dynasty Warriors 9, Samurai Warriors 5, My Little Pony, A Maritime Bay Adventure, My Little Brony, Fast and Furious Spy Racers, Rise of Shifter, Monster Jam Steel Titans. And the premium tier for July includes Gravity Crash Portable, Twisted Metal, and Twisted Metal 2. Awesome, dude. Twisted Metal games. Sick. If you need this, I'll link it for you. There you go. Sorry. Windows 11's July update could fix your pesky gaming stutters. Windows 11 has been a bit of a problem for gaming ever since it released, and I mean, usually this is the case. Windows operating systems tend to need a little bit of bake-in time to get some of the, I mean, as with most software, they need a little bit of time to get some things ironed out, right? But specifically on the side of gaming, they'd had some significant issues, and I've just kind of been recommending that people, if you don't want to deal with those issues, stay on Windows 10 for now. There's no reason not to. It's still supported. You're still getting your updates, and it's safe to continue to use Windows 10. So until Windows 11's had more time to get fleshed out and have some of those bugs fixed and get ironed out, then, you know, you're fine on Windows 10. But it looks like a July update could fix some of the gaming problems. So the July 2023 update to Windows 11 aims to fix a problem where stuttering high DPS, some stuttering high DPS mice issues. The update also includes changes to the Windows 11 clock, which can now display seconds. Apparently, the stuttering problem originates from the demands of high DPS mice in the Windows input stack. If you're a gamer, you're probably working with some powerful hardware, but if you're plugging in a bunch of devices at once, as gamers are apt to do, you're going to have a lot of background processes running. The system basically spends a big chunk of time processing input, which negatively impacts gameplay, causing your high DPS mouse to stutter. Your PC is too busy keeping tabs on other inputs such as controllers, voice chat, and so on. That's why Windows has a difficult time keeping up with it all. Looks like Microsoft intends to remedy this issue by optimizing the processing time for input requests. According to Windows' latest blog, the company has improved the performance by throttling and coalescing background raw mouse listeners and capping their message rate. The idea is to offer gamers fluid gameplay even with many background processes happening at once. If you're dealing with in-game stuttering, a Windows update might be the quick fix you're looking for. The update, aka Windows 11 KB 5028185, should be available on the Windows Update screen as of now. All right. There you go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Red Dead Redemption 4K 60 frames per second remaster is mind-blowingly gorgeous. This game is an absolute banger, by the way. Turns out Red Dead Redemption running at 60 frames of 4K is one of the most beautiful things we've ever seen. Who could have guessed? Been a lot of speculation recently that Rockstar plans on releasing a remake of the original Red Dead Redemption using the same engine used to develop RDR2. While most of it could be boiled down to rumors and hearsay, it hasn't stopped fans hoping for an official confirmation from Rockstar very soon. Yeah, again, look, The reason we know this is basically coming, even though it's not official yet, is because the game has been re-rated in certain areas of the world. First and foremost, it got re-rated in Korea. That's a country where you'll usually see things get rated before anywhere else. And if a game gets re-rated because it's an older title that's already had a rating, it gets re-rated because normally that means there's a remaster or a remake headed our way. In the meantime, fans can enjoy a remastered version of the game just by unofficial means using the never-ending power of emulation. This can be done using the Xenia emulator, which can play Xbox 360 games on PC and take full advantage of your hardware speed and power. This allows games like Red Dead Redemption, which was never even released on the PC, to run at frame rates that well exceed 60 frames, as well as boasting impressive 4K resolutions. Difference can be spotted immediately, with gameplay and cutscenes looking a lot cleaner and smoother than their original release on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Graphically, it still doesn't compare to the jaw-dropping visuals of Red Dead Redemption 2, which is to be expected, of course, but it's definitely an improvement on the original. While it's not the remaster many fans are hoping for, it's worth checking out, especially if your PC has the specs needed to achieve high performance. In the meantime, fans continue to wait for news on the mysterious Red Dead Redemption remake. While there's no concrete evidence of its existence, there are hints that it's on the way. Even John Marston's voice actor is down to reprise his role if Rockstar decides to bring the game back to current gen. Yeah. All right. I've covered many times how I feel personally about emulation. There's no problem with emulating games if you own those titles. I think emulation is a critical, needed tool for us preserving video gaming history, but it's also not something that should be used to circumvent the health of the industry in buying modern games and modern hardware. There's two sides to emulation. There's a way in which it should be used, and there's ways in which it shouldn't be used. So just know that. All your bundles and purchases will follow you into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. All right. Oh, very Sithy, dude. Let's go. I like. It's definitely been one of the worst kept secrets, but every year information on Call of Duty's next entry comes through a bit before schedule. There have been a lot of rumors so far, like red dots returning and gear-based perks, but this most recent drop came straight from the horse's mouth. The Call of Duty Twitter account posted this poll asking if all the things you've bought in Modern Warfare 2 should carry into the next game. Both answers have cheekiness to them, as they're both yeses, with one a, quote, when is the reveal? Given we're not too far from August, the rumored reveal month, and NBA players at the Summer League supposedly got an introduction to the game, should be seeing whatever Modern Warfare 3, assuming that's its real name, is very soon. That is what you want to see, though. If people are actually, if it's not going to be, if these titles are not going to be live service games that continue without like next iteration, because there's certain games that do live service where you're not buying a new version of the product. And then there are these other games like Call of Duty or Madden or whatever, right, where it's like a new game every single flipping year. But it's like when you buy stuff, and let's be fair, a lot of these games have a huge gimmick towards, in-game transactions. But none of that stuff hardly ever carries over for most developers from one iteration to the next. So this is what you want to see. You want to see them allow you to bring some of that stuff, at least some of that stuff that you're buying and purchasing, right? From one game to the next, if it's not going to be a live service game. You're already buying the game year after year, or some people are anyways. So you want to see that stuff that you've been making in-game purchases for be able to transfer over. Crunchyroll announces One Punch Man World Video Game with first trailer. New mobile game tie-in. So Crunchyroll announced a new video game tie-in for One Punch Man under the anime distribution company's in-house publisher, Crunchyroll Games. The company announced the new game titled One Punch Man World as a multiplayer action game for PC and mobile devices developed by Tower of Fantasy and Persona 5 The Phantom X developers Perfect World, with a trailer depicting some of its core gameplay and story features, including a cast of popular characters from the anime series. Quote, One Punch Man World is an immersive online action game that transports players into the universe of One Punch Man, Terry Lee, general manager of Crunchyroll Games, said in a press release. The game brings iconic characters and abilities to life with premier production values that we are excited to unleash on anime fans and gamers. Let's watch this. Boy. It was a little bit loud. Sorry. He's got to get to the store. He's got to go shopping, dude. Yeah, bro. Yes. Yes. Want to be Vegeta, you know? All right. According to Crunchyroll, the plot of One Punch Man World will adapt the first season of anime featuring Saitama and the Hero Association fighting against a wave of world-threatening monsters, with some expanded scenes told from the perspective of other characters. Aside from the story, the game will feature a roster of playable characters from the anime such as Genos and will allow players to team up in cooperative missions and action-based combat in an open hub world where they can interact with one another. As for gameplay, they're taking a different approach with One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, developed by Spike Chunsoft, published by Dark Souls publisher Bandai, which focused on one-on-one battles between players controlling characters from the anime. One Punch Man World will reportedly feature team-based cooperative battles where players will use real-time dodging mechanics, ultimate abilities, and skill combos, along with various minigames within the main world. Third season for One Punch Man is reportedly set for release in next year. Manga still ongoing with over 180 chapters. Pre-registration for the game is open now on the game's official website, which is linked right here, for Windows PC players. The game is set to release on PC, iOS, and Android later this year and will have cross-progression to ensure that players' progress is carried over across platforms. Nice. Cool. Here you go, guys. Very good, very good. Sega is holding big video game sale on Amazon right now. See what they got. A full breakdown of what Amazon has to offer at this time of writing. They don't even have. So it looks like there's discounts of up to 75% off. For instance, Like a Dragon Ishin, only launched a few short months ago, is now present in the sale at 50% off its normal cost. Some of the more notable games on sale. Soul Hackers 2. Looks like all these are like Xbox, PlayStation. So Soul Hackers 2 for Xbox and PS. Sonic Frontiers for all consoles. Persona 5 Royal for all consoles. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania for Switch. Sonic Colors Ultimate for Xbox. And Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles for Switch. Yeah. If Amazon runs out of copies to sell, the price may shift as third-party sellers will then be the only ones able to fulfill orders. So if you're interested in any of these, go take a look, and probably better to grab them now rather than later. Okay. Starbreeze shows off hidden Payday 3 trailer after nobody finds it. For a community who claim to love Easter eggs, you sure are taking a while to find our latest one. A new trailer for Payday 3 was so well hidden that the developers have had to show it off themselves. The new stealth trailer was hidden on the game's official website. In order to find it, you had to click on the original gameplay trailer, then turn the volume down while you watched it. However, according to PC Gamer, after 5 days of this video being on the website, Starbreeze decided to release the trailer on its social media platforms. God, I hope this game's good. The bag tossing, dude, Jesus. That's some nostalgia right there, dude. The duffel bag tossing. Nice. Very nice. Cool. The Payday Twitter account had previously teased the existence of the trailer, writing, for a community who claimed to love Easter eggs, sure are taking a while to find our latest one. Yeah, it will require an online connection to play the game, even in single player. Speaking on a live stream, Starbreeze's global brand director, Almir Listo, confirmed that the game, which offers both multiplayer and single player gameplay, will require an online connection regardless of which mode is chosen. In our recent preview of Payday 3, we said we can foresee getting the perfect stealth heist on the game's highest difficulty to be a Sisyphean challenge for some friend groups, but for others, it's a whole new level of replayability for the game. Payday 3 seems like it has all of the ingredients necessary to pull off its lofty goal of emulating the classic heist films of Hollywood. The question remains whether its new stealth systems will be fully embraced by a player base that has gotten so used to the shoot first, ask questions later action of the previous games. Yeah, I hope it's good, dude. Payday 2 was a lot of fun. And I really hope they've evolved the gameplay for this one too. Yeah, I'll link it. Oh, dude, this is gonna be for Cash. I gotta send this to Casual. Streamer makes widget to allow chat to play Ocarina of Time. Twitch streamer has created a widget that allows his chat to play songs from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Twitch user Nutty created the widget that reads user commands from the Twitch chat, then plays the in-game ocarina from the game. I spent all day making this, and I hope to God it was worth it, said Nutty. If the Twitch chat is successful in typing out one of the songs from the game, link will appear on the screen and play it. I really went into excessive detail on this. I even made the friggin' buttons myself. I made the PNG of the buttons. They didn't exist. I had to make them, said Nutty. The clip, which has been viewed over 1 million times on Twitter, has gone viral with other large streamers asking Nutty to share the widget or to give more information on how he made it in order to create their own. The most well-known instance of the Twitch chat integrating with a video game is Twitch Plays Pokemon, a live stream that saw the Twitch chat control Pokemon Red. Starting on February 12th, 2014, the stream would go on to attract concurrent viewership of around 80,000. Been estimated that over 1.2 million users participated in the event. Stream eventually completed the game in 16 days and 9 hours. That's really wild, dude. That's really wild. Hold on. I gotta send this to Cash real quick. He'll like that. That's cool. All right. City Skylines 2 releases a deep dive video on city services. Paradox Interactive has released another video in what appears to be a weekly series of reveals for City Skylines 2, this time talking about city services. As your city moves, it needs maintenance and protection. This latest video explores all of those aspects and shows you how you'll need to maintain it to make sure the city works properly. Enjoy the video below, along with a snippet from their latest blog, going over what you can expect to work with. The basic gameplay of City Service remains the same as City Skylines 2. Your task is to provide the citizens with various services that increase their quality of life, bring them happiness, and keep them safe. However, unlike in the previous game, where you wanted to cover the city evenly with all the different service types, the road to the perfect city in Skylines 2 lies in understanding the needs of the citizens and fulfilling them by providing suitable services as well as other activities such as places to go shopping. You can, of course, place the various services throughout the city, but doing so can be costly and provides only minor additional benefits overall. Whereas city services directly increase land value in the previous game, City Skylines 2 takes a different approach. City services only indirectly affect land value as they answer the needs of citizens and companies in the city, which in turn increases their willingness to pay higher rent in the area, thus increasing their levels and the land value. For more information about land value, check out our previous development diary zones and signature buildings. Furthermore, not all citizens have the same needs. Senior citizens have more free time and value places where they can spend that free time. Families with children, on the other hand, value areas with schools. Working age citizens seek residence in areas that have quick connections to workplaces. And companies value services that increase their efficiency and profit margin. Citizens' needs can be inspected from their household selected info panel by hovering over the family's happiness icon. Similarly, companies' needs can be inspected in their SIP, hovering over their efficiency value. All right, let's take a look at this.
Successful city building and City Skylines 2 is all about people, anticipating their needs and desires, ensuring they feel safe, and actually keeping them safe. Understanding
It won't let me
what
full
annoys
screen it.
and delights
Sorry.
them, and doing what it takes to give them healthy,
Close enough, I
happy
guess.
lives from beginning to end. How? City services. You'll build clinics and hospitals to deliver healthcare, plus the ambulance service people need in life or death situations. Oh, yeah, sometimes it will be a death situation. So you'll add death care services that transport people to the city's crematoriums and cemeteries. You'll set up schools for kids of all ages, plus colleges and universities. After all, education fosters social advancement. Life still might take a turn for the worse for some people. When it does, you'll want the safety net of a welfare office. One thing that improves everyone's well-being, no matter what's going on in life, is time outdoors. You'll create parks, plazas, attractions, and landmarks that make people living nearby happier and healthier. As in real life, safety first is a good mantra in City Skylines 2. So you'll want various fire and rescue services. Just adding a firehouse reduces the likelihood of a blaze in the neighborhood. Same with police stations. Build them and send patrols out onto the streets to cut crime. Communications is a new city service in City Skylines 2, helping you meet more essential needs. That includes the internet. Naturally, the easier it is to connect to the web, the happier everyone will feel and the more profitable the city's businesses will be. Of course, everyone relies on electricity, so you want to avoid long outages. They aren't just aggravating. Blackouts will prompt people to move out and force businesses to pause production, putting profits at risk. Keep electricity lines humming with sustainable energy sources like wind, solar, geothermal, and hydropower. Go old school with fossil fuels like coal and gas. There's always the nuclear option too. This is the most realistic city builder ever. So you'll need to deal with a lot of stuff. We're talking sewage. Gross? Yes. Necessary? Also yes. With a wastewater treatment plant, you can purify sewage and circulate water into your city's freshwater network. Or you can pump sewage into open waters and out of the network. Don't forget to stay on top of garbage. Garbage processing centers, landfills, and an incineration plant will stop it piling up. But don't take shortcuts. Air and water pollution can sink land values, harm the health of residents, and tarnish the city's appeal to tourists. Ready to introduce a city service? Previously, you only had to construct a city service building. When that service needed to cover a larger area or support more people, you simply constructed the same building again. Not anymore. Almost all city services can now be upgraded to scale operations and expand functionality. While city services make your city livable, they come at a cost. Balancing these costs and the very real needs of everyone in your city is the name of the game. Subscribe to the City Skylines 2 YouTube channel for updates and more feature highlights.
No, you're good, Ferret. Yeah. I played a lot of like SimCity when I was younger and stuff, but as I've grown as a gamer and stuff, like I played City Skylines for briefly last year, and it was cool to like try out. But it's just they just don't hook me anymore, man. It's not something that I can like stay with either. I respect it. They're cool games. They're pretty neat, and I can understand how some people really enjoy them. Yeah, City Skylines is pretty dope, dude. It's pretty dope. It's cool. So if it looks interesting, try it out. I recommend. It's pretty cool, but it's just nothing that makes me go, oh, I need to keep playing this. Gabs, what up, Gabs? How you doing, my friend? How was your trip? How was your holiday, your vacation? What is up, friendo? But if anybody needs anything more out of this for City Skylines 2, Ferret, we already covered. I wasn't sure if you were around or not, but we did already cover the One Punch Man stuff, dude. Where was that at? Here. Oh, you're still there? There's that article though, dude. Yeah, I didn't know if you were here or not. So I don't know. There's that link to it though, right there though, dude. It does show some pretty good gameplay of it. It looks like it's going to be on PC, iOS, and Android, so you can play it on PC as well. But you can get the gist of it right there in that link, dude. Going home on Thursday, huh? Has it been good? Have you had a good time, Gabs? What have you been doing? What have you been eating? Fill us in. Yeah, Ferret, for sure. Remnant 2 reveals the Hunter archetype in stunning new gameplay. Remnant 2 looks very interesting. Melting. Yeah, dude. 40. Yeah, 40 Celsius. Yeah, it is hot, dude. Yeah. I've heard a lot of people talking about heat waves and stuff. It's been humid here, but we keep getting like kind of fluxes where I'm at, where it's like, we've been dealing with some thunderstorms and rain and stuff, and it'll cool down for a little bit, but then it'll heat up, and get back up into like the high 80s and low 90s, and it'll get real humid because of all the rain we've been getting and stuff too, This looks really, really cool. Remnant 2 looks great. I'm interested in trying it. Food's been awesome. Traditional dishes been eaten like a pig. Oh, dude, that sounds great. Another entry that's about to grace the colossal action RPG genre of video games soon to arrive on July 25th, dude. We're a week away. Those who have bought the Ultimate Edition to the title will be able to benefit from a 3-day early access period. Woohoo! This is what I was talking about earlier, dude. It's like, who cares, dude? If the game feels like crap, who cares if you're in early? As the action third-person shooter nears its release, the developers have started to come out with more Remnant 2 content for the purpose of showcasing what's to come soon. In doing so, Gunfire Games has revealed a brand new archetype, which refers to an in-game playable character class called Hunter, who it defines as an expert in long-range, precision-based combat. Remnant 2 is looking incredibly enticing these days, and fans of the franchise can't wait for the next iteration in the series to finally arrive. Rightfully so, the gameplay reveals that Gunfire Games has been constantly putting out or showcasing the quality of the forthcoming RPG, exhibiting how big of an improvement the sequel is as compared to Remnant from the Ashes, which was the first game. In a new video uploaded on YouTube, a new archetype has been revealed, the Hunter. A total of 5 classes have been unearthed for the title so far, namely Challenger, Gunslinger, Medic, Handler, and the freshly unveiled Hunter. Hunter sounds cool. Gunslinger would be dope too, I think. It goes without saying that each of these archetypes comes with its own unique set of weapons, abilities, and gadgets. Shopping some jewelry and clothes, hanging with puppies. Got a great tan. Nice, dude. That sounds great. Awesome. I'm glad you've been having a good time. Let's check this out real quick. It's good to see you, Gabs. I'm glad you've been having a good vacation.
Archetypes in Remnant 2 come with their own set of unique tools designed for defeating the biggest and baddest enemies that the apocalypse has ever seen. This is Tragic from Gunfire Games, introducing the final starting archetype, the Hunter. Always a classic, the Hunter focuses on long-range, precision-based gameplay. They easily identify targets and eliminate them.
Boink.
Often before the battle
I
even
love snipers,
begins.
dude.
Their perks are designed around making every hit count.
I'm really interested in playing it. There's so many good games coming out,
no
dude.
matter how small the window. The key to their entire kit is the Prime perk.
You know, to be
Dead
honest, if this
Rights.
game reviews well, this
Scoring
might become my
range
weekend
response
game.
While a hunter skill is active, extends its duration, even beyond its initial values. In addition to the Prime, the Hunter also has a unique ability called marking. When marked,
I'm good,
enemies
Gabs.
can be seen through walls.
Yeah, I'm good.
and are
Thanks
more
for asking.
susceptible to critical
Solid,
hits
man.
From the entire team.
Living my
Every
best life,
hunter's
baby.
on the prowl.
Getting to hang out with cool peoples and play games, dude.
Their
Great.
first skill, Hunter's Mark, is
Thanks
a
for
tried
asking.
and true fan favorite.
Staying
the Hunter
chunky, you
instantly
know?
reveals and marks all enemies in a wide range. While active, every
I'm
enemy is
trying to
automatically
I'm
marked for the
trying to
entire
change
team.
my
No one hides from the Hunter. Their second skill, Hunter's Focus, is a more
schedule a bit. I'm trying to start
technique.
working on getting up
While
earlier
aiming
so I can
down
start
sights,
trying to get
their
some
target will
workouts in
become
and stuff. I'm just
automatically
getting
marked.
too flipping
If
thick.
they
I don't
remain focused,
I
without
eat too much. I
shooting,
don't work out
they gain
anymore or
huge
anything,
bonuses
man.
to
I gotta
accuracy,
work on
damage,
my
and
schedule. I gotta
critical
alter it
chance.
a little bit.
The
I
buff
gotta
remains
start
active
getting
so
up
long as
early,
the
doing
Hunter
some
remains
workouts and
aiming.
stuff, man.
This one's personal.
Nice, Davey. Great.
Their
That's
third
great.
skill, Hunter's Shroud, makes the Hunter a nearly untouchable killing machine. They instantly slip into the shadows, making it easier to avoid damage while moving.
All right, Gabs.
Their
All right,
next
it's good to
attack,
see you.
Drop
Thanks for
Strike,
stopping by.
marks
I'm
enemies
sure
within
we'll see
close
you
range
maybe after like
and
you get
grants a
back
strong range and melee damage
this week
buff.
from your vacation and
If the
stuff.
Hunter
Be safe,
doesn't
okay?
attack for a short
Be
duration,
safe.
they instantly reshroud. Now you see me. Now you're dead. Rounding out their kit is the archetype trait, Long Shot. It increases the effective range of all firearms, from rifles to shotguns, and everything in between.
This game looks
Players
good,
who
dude.
enjoy rewarding, precision-based gameplay will love
Barrett,
the
you
Hunter.
ready?
Their range is unmatched, and their damage, legend.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like it's like a Dark Souls shooter, dude. loot and shoot. You know what I mean? That's what it reminds me of. It's like a Soulsborne loot and shooter. You know what I mean? It looks really dope, dude. Whenever it releases, if it gets pretty good reviews and ratings, and it sounds like it's performing pretty well on PC, dude, it might become my weekend game. I might play around on it on the weekends and stuff. It looks fun, dude. I love loot and shoot games, man. It looks like a lot of fun. I would love to have some people play it with me too. But I mean, we got there's so many games coming out, dude. There's so many games. Jeez. Uh, the reveal footage casts a lens on some of the primary abilities players can expect a hunter to have. Interestingly enough, these look great for cooperative playthroughs where you can be a viable member of the team and assist other archetypes in eradicating incoming threats. The hunter can trigger a skill that marks all nearby enemies, thereby improving invisibility and gaining an advantage on the battlefield. Not just that, but the rest of the members of your team are more likely to land crit hits when the mark ability is activated. Next up, the second skill called Hunter's Focus is even more calculated, allowing an archetype to identify foes in the vicinity while aiming down sights. Last but not least, the Hunter's Shroud ability is cool as heck. This one actually makes the player invisible while cloaking the character so that enemies can't really see them. Yeah, Remnant 2 hits in a week, July 25th on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, while effectively skipping next-gen consoles. Excuse me, wait, what? Skipping previous gen consoles, I think, is what you meant? Previous gen consoles. I read that wrong? I think that's what they meant. But yeah, this game looks dope. Been watching it. It's definitely on my radar for something for us to play. I always I saw the original Revenant game and was really interested in playing that too, and I never got into it. I never got to try it. But this one is something that I'm definitely interested in trying out and playing. Okay, here we go, man. Stardew Valley 1.6 update. Is there anything that new in this that we're not already aware of? So Eric Barone, aka Concerned Ape, right, the developer, the single person that has made Stardew Valley and is currently working on their new game, Haunted Chocolatier, is daring me to start yet another one as he recently teased some of the new additions coming. Another playthrough for Stardew as teased some of the new additions coming in the game's 1.6 update. Barone tweeted today that a new festival, new items, more dialogue, more secrets, and even a more nebulous are coming with Stardew Valley's next major update. That'll do it. My new farm is already watered, and I'm ready to fight fish, romance, whatever question mark is nebulous. Barone had previously said the update focused on changes for modders, right, which will make it easier and more powerful to mod. But he added there would be new game content, albeit much less than 1.5. We now have a taste of what that new stuff entails. Fresh festivals are always a welcome sight to shake up the annual rotation of community meetups, though I'm not sure where the game could go next. Maybe a party in the underused community center or something to do with stargazing, only because I'm curious about the one UFO sighting in the game. When announcing the upcoming game, Barone also added that he was taking a break from developing his next comfy game. It's not Hotel Chocolatier, it's Haunted Chocolatier. This is incorrect. The game is called Haunted Chocolatier, not Hotel, and would return to it after the 1.6 update was released for Stardew Valley. Haunted Chocolatier. Look, man, this is terrible. They keep referring. It's not a misprint either. They actually think it's called Hotel. I didn't mean to do that. It's Haunted Chocolatier. This is it. Where's his website at? Let's just go to We could probably just go to Concerned Ape. Stardew Valley. They said it right at the start, typed it right at the start, and then they went to hotel through the entire rest of it. Oh no. So he has an entire site dedicated to Haunted Chocolatier as well. I gotta find this thing. Oh, I spelled it wrong. There you go. Haunted Chocolatier, dude. That is it right there. If you want it, I'll give it, but I don't want people. Oh yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. I don't want people thinking it's called Hotel Chocolatier and not being able to find it. This individual absolutely deserves to have people find this new game that Eric Barone, aka Concerned Ape, is working on, because Stardew Valley is an amazing thing. 10 years for a single individual to be dedicating their life to, and for it to be such an amazing thing. You know, Haunted Chocolatier, we love indie devs, and I just want people to. I'm not trying to like throw shade at them for getting it wrong. I just want people to understand where they can actually find this game, the new game, and because this is the actual name of it. So Haunted Chocolatier is about running a chocolate shop with friendly ghosts, and will apparently have a greater emphasis on combat compared to Stardew Valley, although the warm vibes seem to be unbroken. The bottom line, yeah, did they say they said it right in the beginning? Where? Yeah, probably Ferret. No, it's not actually in here correct anywhere. It's not in here correct anywhere. This is the only place, and it's on a link at the very bottom. Yeah, probably so. Yeah. Yeah. So they got it wrong through the entire article. That feels bad. The bottom line is that I won't reset or release this game until I'm. This is a quote from Eric Barone, the dev. Until I'm personally satisfied that it's very fun and compelling in every aspect. Said Barone about Haunted Chocolatier's release date. We can expect similar perfectionist time frame for Stardew Valley's 1.6 update. In the meantime, the developer recently shared what Stardew Valley looked like in its earliest stages via very fun notebook doodles, or you can check out RPS's list of the best Stardew mods if you want to play something new in the farm life sim right now. Yeah, so that's cool. This is just Stardew Valley trailer. It's not really showing off anything new. Yeah, that does feel bad. That's why, I mean, to rock, paper, shotgun, dude, this is a notable... this is a notable gaming media outlet, and for them to get the name wrong for a renowned indie developer's upcoming game throughout the entire article, that feels bad. So not trying to necessarily throw shade, you know what I mean? People make mistakes and everything, but it is important, I think, for people to understand that this is the name of the game. And Ferret, thanks for throwing the link in there to chat as well, man. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I just want people to make sure they know that what the correct name of the game is. This individual deserves all the, people to be able to find the title the right way. But if you need more out of this article about the new 1.6 update for Stardew Valley, there it is. So Microsoft and UK regulator given extra time to resolve Activision deal issues. Competition tribunal grants 2-month pause of appeal over merger block. In April, the CMA said it was preventing the $69 billion deal from going ahead due to concerns about its impact on the nascent cloud gaming market. Microsoft's appeal against the CMA's decision was scheduled to be heard in a court case beginning on July 28th. Last week, the party said they had made a joint submission to the Competition Appeal Tribunal to pause legal proceedings with a view to reaching in an out-of-court agreement over the controversial merger. During a case management conference on Monday, so yesterday, CAT provisionally agreed to a 2-month stay of the case after the CMA said it would consider a modified deal to put forward by Microsoft, Reuters reports. David Bailey, a lawyer representing the CMA, told the tribunal, based upon the discussion to date, both sides, Microsoft and the CMA, have confidence that Microsoft notifying a restructured transaction is capable of addressing the concerns that the CMA has identified. Last week, the CMA extended the deadline for its final decision on the deal from July 18th to August 29th so that it could consider a fresh proposal from Microsoft. The Xbox maker is reportedly considering selling some of its UK cloud gaming rights in a bid to seal regulatory approval for the deal. Yeah. Microsoft was recently cleared to acquire Activision Blizzard in the U.S. after winning its court battle with antitrust regulator, the Federal Trade Commission. The company has been hoping to complete the transaction before its current merger agreement expires on July 18th, after which Activision Blizzard could walk away with a $3 billion termination fee if an extension isn't agreed. Yeah. It's a lot of what we knew. I think it gets done pretty quick, actually. So here we go. The United Kingdom's games industry reveals plans to restrict loot boxes. Progress on these new guidelines will be reviewed in a year. UK games industry body Yuki has published a new set of principles that says it will leave room for the industry to self-regulate. Principles surrounding loot boxes in video games are recommended by the Technical Working Group. The Technical Working Group was convened by the Department of Culture, Media, and Sport. Quote, we've been clear the video games industry needs more to protect children and adults from the harms associated with loot boxes, said Minister for the Creative Industries John Whittingdale. That's kind of been my sentiment about the gambling-esque mechanics in gaming, you know. I really don't think that children should have access to it under a certain age. And I think you should be of a fairly significant age, you know, to be able to address this stuff. Each country's, you know, addresses what they consider a respective adult to be, and that's going to vary from country to country and things like that. But really, I think the best thing that can happen here is, look, adults are responsible for themselves and doing what they want to do with their money and things like that, right? And so but children are impressionable. They're not, you know, their brains aren't fully formed yet. They need time to understand the implications of what gambling can be and what it can do to you as a human being and being an addictive thing, right? And so I think that's the what really needs to happen is the gambling as a whole, anything that can be looked at as a gambling mechanic, whether it be loot boxes or gotcha mechanics or whatever, anything like that, should really be kept away from children to the greatest extent possible. And on the front of anybody that has access to it in an adult capacity, they should be afforded resources for help if they find themselves in a situation where they feel like they can't stop, right? Because it is an addiction. And I don't think people that have dealt with addiction on a personal level or even seen anybody else go through addiction understands how catastrophic it can be for individuals and the people around them. It's a brutal kind of thing. And I think that, you know, you're never going to get rid of these mechanics as a whole. And adults have to be responsible for their actions, and they want the freedom of being able to dive into these kinds of mechanics and things, and fine. But on the part of the developers and publishers, at the very least, what needs to happen is there needs to be resources available to help people that might find themselves in the position of needing help because they feel like they can't quit engaging in the gambling mechanics. Addiction is something that everybody that finds themselves in a position of being addicted to something, whatever that may be, needs to be afforded and have the resources to help them deal with those struggles, right? And I think that in the realm of gaming, it's no different, right? It's not any different. That's where I think that we really have to get progressive in how we address this kind of thing. These new principles are a big step forward to make sure players can enjoy video games responsibly and safely. I look forward to seeing games companies put the plans into action, and we'll be watching the progress closely. The first of these is to push the use of parental controls that would effectively restrict the purchase of loot boxes for any user under 18. These parental controls vary by platform, but it's argued they aren't as prominent as they should be and are too simple to circumvent. Yeah, agreed. This will be achieved by a public information campaign which will share best practices with parents and guardians who may be unaware of loot boxes or the parent controls that are available to them on their child's console. Look, man, I'll say this. One of the first things you should really be doing as a parent, in my opinion, is just not giving kids open access to purchases. That's the easiest way to address anything on this front. Everybody's going to parent in a different way. Everybody has their own respective ideas of how to parent. But look, we see articles all the time of, parents physically beat their child after a child squanders $50,000 life savings on a video game. And it's like, whose fault is that? We saw that recently in an article. Whose fault is that? Nobody but the parents, man. You don't give kids just open access to money like that. What do you expect them to do with it? They're a child. Did you expect them to understand the severity of, and the implications of what squandering that amount of money is potentially going to do to your, the stability of your family or anything? No, man. They see a big chunk of cash and they're having fun, and that's all. I mean, it's a very narrow-minded kind of thing. That's the way kids work, dude. So, whose fault is that? And the best thing you can do as a parent, I think, is not give kids open access to just cash, to just purchase whatever they want whenever they want. You've got to lock stuff down, dude. Yuki also outlines the game companies must show the probabilities of the content of loot boxes ahead of purchase. That's good too. This is always the case in some games, such as the hugely popular FIFA Ultimate Team. Already the case in games such as FIFA Ultimate Team, which will now be EA Sports FC Ultimate Team. You want parents to be responsible? Scoff. How dare you? Yeah, I know, right? Like, I know. What a weird concept, right? I think this is the thing that it's always molding to me, because then we see those articles all the time, like the one I was just talking about. We saw one previously before that where what was it? Some teenager did the same thing, like spent like $80,000 or $90,000 the entire life savings for her family on video games and stuff. And the parents were trying to recoup the money from the developers. It's like, dude, no, that's not the way that works. You put yourself in this position. You did this. You know what I mean? You're telling me you've been a parent for like 15 or 16 years and that you felt like that was an okay thing? You just give your child, your teenager, access to your life savings, and now you should be able to just recoup that money? No, man. That's like the government bailing out these CEOs and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you're irresponsible. This is your fault. You suffer the consequences of it. That's the way life works. You shouldn't be able to be bailed out. right? Learn your lesson. You should have known better. It's crazy, man. It's like, you know, what I was talking about was like, the bailouts, the government, like here in the US, the government was like bailing out these CEOs of these companies where CEOs were making millions and millions and millions of dollars where these companies went bankrupt. It's like, why are these CEOs making all this money if the companies are going bankrupt and then the government's bailing them out too? What kind of crap is that? That's not logical, dude. That doesn't make any sense. You know? That's craziness. You know, it's crazy. That doesn't make sense. It's unclear if these rules will be tightened as at the moment FIFA's probabilities are extremely generic, with the value of what you're actually getting out of a pack swinging wildly, even within the same category of item. Progress on these new guidelines will be reviewed in a year. Last year, the UK government said the games industry must do more to protect vulnerable players from loot boxes, and that it will not hesitate to consider legislation if companies do not bring in sufficient measures to keep players safe. Good. This is a much more prominent thing you'll see over in like Europe, man. A lot of countries in Europe are like not having anything to do with this. They are not about this. These gambling mechanics and stuff. They're really addressing this heavily, especially countries like we've seen the Netherlands. The Netherlands, I'm pretty sure it was the Netherlands, and maybe even like maybe Poland or something. They didn't even let Diablo Immortal publish in their countries, you know, and good for them. What a scummy thing Diablo Immortal was. As well as like, you know, we've seen Spain and UK and countries like that where they're really, really, really adamant about regulating what the gambling mechanics in gaming are and who can access that stuff. It's good. I'm about it. I think it does need to be regulated. Look, I'm not saying that it should be gotten, done away with or whatever as a whole. Adults are going to adult. You can't, I mean, whether, you tell an adult whether it be gambling in a game or going to a casino or whatever, you know what I mean? Adults make their money. They can decide how to spend their money. But there needs to be better regulations about how it is incorporated, and there needs to be better resources for getting people help. Another 5 games will leave Xbox Game Pass soon. July 31st. So what's leaving in late July? On July 31st, the game's leaving Game Pass. Dreamscaper, Expeditions Rome, Marvel's Avengers Definitive Edition, The Ascent, and 2 Point Campus. All right. As always, these games are available at a 20% discount until they're removed from Game Pass. So until the end of the month or until the beginning of August, you can get these at a 20% discount to actually buy them. So if you want any of this, now look, I'll highly recommend not buying into Marvel's Avengers. This game is no longer going to be supported come September. So I would just stay away from this game. It's never been worth buying into anyways. But I mean, you do you. That's just my advice and recommendation here. But maybe just let that one die out. All right. But if you're interested in any of these other ones that you haven't been able to play, you can get them at a 20% discount before they leave Game Pass, okay? Two games are available today with Xbox Game Pass July 18th. Tectonica and The Cave. Let's see these. I need more coffee.
We came to this rogue planet to build something that could save our own. Underground, we discovered something beautiful. And a mystery we couldn't explain. And that's where you come in.
It's like Factorio.
Humanity is counting on you, Groundbreaker. So am I. Let's get to work.
Yeah. That's what it looks like to me, dude. Interesting. Okay. Weird. And the cave.
You know, there are those who say I'm not pulling for those who venture down here. But that's not true. I root for every single one of them, for they are tormented souls. Tormented not by what they have done, but what they might do, if not for the cave. I kid. I'm just a pile of rocks filled with musty air and bad droppings. What could I possibly know about life? Shall we continue our journey?
Guidance system installed.
What can I possibly know about life? Nothing, except that the cave. All right, I'm done. I won't say the cave anymore. The cave. All right, now I'm really done. The cave.
Cool. My bad. There you go. If you need more, these games just hit Game Pass, all right? Let's talk about this now. So Xbox Live Gold ending after 18 years as Microsoft is launching Game Pass Core. We're still got to finish up Grounded once Pinky gets back. After nearly 2 decades, Xbox Live Gold will die on September 14th. In its place is Xbox Game Pass Core, a cheaper version of the Game Pass service that will allow gamers to play online together, as well as offer a curated selection of games to play. And yes, that also means Games with Gold is going away too. You'll still have access to those games you downloaded via the program, but there are some things to consider. Originally launched in 2002, shortly after the launch of the original Xbox, Xbox Live quickly became the standard for online play on consoles. Blah! Which is disgusting. Service evolved with the Xbox 360, featuring various networking capabilities such as cross-game voice chat and messaging. And in 2013, Xbox Live Gold offered more free games each month via Games with Gold. In 2017, however, Microsoft turned to offering another online service with Xbox Game Pass, allowing players to download countless games for around $11 a month on consoles. Now the services are essentially fusing together on September 14th, with the Xbox Live Gold branding being phased out and Games with Gold ending on September 1st. Xbox Game Pass Core, which will cost $10 a month or $60 a year, will offer 25 games to play and access to online multiplayer. Which is something you should have by default in buying into their platform. You shouldn't have to pay for this. Is it better than it was? Yeah. Is it good? No. This is just another part of the scumminess of console gaming. Referring to users keeping their games, Nintendo needs to learn from this. Yeah, you're not wrong there. But again, like this whole, if you're playing on a console, you have to pay to play online with other people is asinine. It's so disgusting. that is inherently something that you should be buying into as part of just buying their hardware and buying into their platform, you know? Don't get me wrong, anything subscription wise or, you know, whatever, then that should be something different. Yeah, you should be paying for that Game Pass or whatever, but just on the ability to play games online with other people, that should be part of the platform for gaming. It's so gross that we've gotten to this point where people just don't even look at this anymore as um, people have come to accept this as a default thing that you have to have along with buying each new iteration of console. And if you're going to continue to be a part of that platform, you also have to buy into their services for playing online with other people. It's so gross. So come play on PC where you don't have to deal with that crap. All you have to worry about is having an internet connection. There are some rare scenarios where you might have to have the online version of a game or something like that, or there might be subscription-based games or something, but you're not going to have to pay a monthly fee, dude, to pay most games online. It's just a feature that they all come with, which is what consoles should be too. This is disgusting. Right, yeah, I remember that too, Ferret. Yep, I remember that as well. Absolutely disgusting, dude. Game Pass will let you keep your games with gold games under one condition. What's the caveat we have here? Let's get the big question out of the way first. Yes, you will be able to access the games you've downloaded via the Games with Gold program, but here's the catch. For Xbox One games, you'll need to remain a Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate subscriber to keep your games with gold games. According to Microsoft, Xbox 360 games are exempt from this requirement as per the copy on the Game Pass Core announcement page. Regardless of subscription status, any Xbox 360 titles redeemed via Games with Gold in the past will be kept in a player's library. If you're an existing Xbox Live Gold subscriber, you'll automatically convert to Game Pass Core on September 14th. Microsoft provided the following list of games that will be available on September 14th via the new service, with more to be added ahead of the service's launch. Here's the list. Among Us, Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Grounded, Halo 5, Guardians, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Human Fall Flat, Inside, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Psychonauts 2, State of Decay 2, The Elder Scrolls Online, Tamriel Unlimited. Microsoft promises to add new games to Game Pass Core 2 to 3 times each year, in addition to various membership exclusive deals and discounts. Pricing of the service is somewhat curious, however. At $10 a month, the full Xbox Game Pass on console is a mere $1 extra. It's hard to imagine why someone would choose not to just spend the extra $1 and get access to a far larger game library that's abundantly added every month. It means Microsoft is now matching PlayStation's Plus Essential service, which is the same price with a similar library of games, except Sony's version still offers a couple of free games every month to subscribers. What a curious move. Yeah. Gross. Console's gross, dude. I just can't. And I just... Ugh. Disgusting, dude. If you need something out of it, here you go. But agreed, why would you not just pay like $1 more a month and just get everything else, you know, subscription-wise out of it? New laws might be requiring gaming handhelds to have replaceable batteries. If the EU has its way, it may be easier to replace old and damaged batteries in your portables in the near future. The European Union dropped new regulations demanding future consumer tech products, including gaming handhelds like successors to the Nintendo Switch and Steam Deck, have user replaceable batteries by 2027. In a press release outlining the new mandate, the European Council stated that all portable batteries for appliances, light transport vehicles such as electric bikes, and other devices should be removable and replaceable by the end user. The aim is to reduce the environmental and societal impacts of discarded batteries, with the goal of creating a circular economy which encourages recycling and reusing old batteries as much as possible. In a statement to indie gaming publication Overkill, an EU source said upcoming gaming handhelds are also included in these new regulations. Great. That's good. The batteries of gaming handhelds are covered by the Batteries and Waste Batteries regulation, an EU representative said. Meanwhile, the document detailing the regulation states that a portable battery shall be considered readily removable by the end user, where it can be removed from a product with the use of commercially available tools without requiring the use of specialized tools unless provided free of charge with the product. According to the directive, product manufacturers will be required to include removal instructions and safety information to assist users with replacing old batteries, and they must be removable with common, readily available tools. Oh, I know, Ferret. I know. Yeah, this is a big deal on that front. Still, with proprietary tools that are provided free of charge with the device, still we'll have to wait at least 4 years for the ordinance to take effect, and in that time, it may face all manner of resistance from manufacturers. So it's probably too soon to celebrate this as a milestone for tech sustainability. There's hope. Yeah, I love this, dude. I love this. Batteries are better nowadays than they've ever been, but like I said, when I pulled this article up, the most recent example I have is like, I don't know, a few years ago, I had to replace a 2DS battery for my kids. They have a 2DS, and basically temperature flux in the older lithium-ion battery packs, they would temperature flux especially would cause them to degrade, and they would bulge, right? Those batteries would bulge, and it would happen in phones. It would happen in everything, and our 2DS did it. So I had to find a replacement battery online. It wasn't hard to replace, but I mean, I'm one of those people that I've always taken things apart and put things back together, so it's not a big deal to me. But most things aren't engineered in a way that is done so that end users are have an easy time at replacing parts, right? Whenever things are done that way, it's incredible, and kudos to those manufacturers that do that thing. Steam Deck's done pretty well, even though their battery's glued in, which isn't good. The Asus ROG Ally apparently has done a pretty good job, and yeah, I don't remember it being very difficult for myself, but again, I don't remember how, I would have maybe thought about it being from just replacing the 2DS battery. I don't remember exactly. It wasn't hard for me, but I don't also remember exactly what it entailed, and I don't remember if it would have been something that I felt like just a non-tech kind of person would have just been able to accomplish fairly easily. I don't remember. I think it probably was fairly easy, but those old batteries used to do that a lot. Nowadays, batteries have come a long ways. They don't do that near as often. They're much better at dealing with heat flux and not degrading because of it. But there's still occasions where they need to be replaced, and this is great. I think that the more regulations that are out there for making devices easily repairable by consumers is great. That's great. PlayStation gamers heartbroken. Sony traded Bethesda, Crash, and more for 10 years of Call of Duty. We talked about this yesterday. TLDR basically is that had Sony just accepted the original 10-year deal that Xbox offered, Microsoft and Xbox offered them at the beginning of this debacle with Microsoft purchasing Activision Blizzard and Sony shooting down that original 10-year deal, which included 10 years of Activision or of Call of Duty, as well as many of their old school titles to remain on their platform, like Tony Hawk and Crash Bandicoot and things like that. Now they've got a 10-year deal. After Sony realized that this deal is going to go through, Microsoft went back to Sony and said, "Do you want Call of Duty? We'll still give you your 10-year deal." But that 10-year deal does not include any of those other previous titles either. We found this out yesterday. So there are a lot of PlayStation gamers that are upset because while they're getting Call of Duty, they're not going to have any of those old games that used to be PlayStation titles. A lot of those titles are probably just going to be Xbox and PC moving forward. So since 2003, the Call of Duty series has evolved into one of the most commercially successful and popular video game franchises of all time. No doubt this series was a major reason that Microsoft stumped up roughly $69 billion to acquire Activision Blizzard. Even though Microsoft has reiterated that it intends to keep Call of Duty multi-platform, to the extent that Nintendo was offered a 10-year deal right after Sony shot it down, Sony was concerned that at some point in the future, Microsoft could pull the series from PlayStation and keep it on the Green brand. If that was to happen, Microsoft would have shot itself in the foot, especially as it admitted it wouldn't be profitable to restrict Call of Duty to just Xbox, even if it meant taking it away from its most fierce competitor. Microsoft made its first steps to acquire Activision Blizzard in January of last year. Many would have assumed that the takeover would have been completed by now, though we still have a little way to go until everything's finalized. First major roadblock to halt its progression, other than PlayStation boss Jim Ryan throwing spanners into the works, was the FTC and CMA's attempts to block the deal, both of which are the US and UK market regulators, respectively. However, we know that Microsoft has now won against the FTC. They are in the works of getting past the UK Regulatory Commission as well. And following Microsoft's big win in court, it was revealed that Xbox head honcho Phil Spencer, in a binding deal, has signed with PlayStation to ensure that Call of Duty remains on the Blue brand. Deals on that agreement, such as contract length, remain undisclosed at this time. Interestingly, there was no other mention of other Activision franchises such as Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Overwatch, Tony Hawk, just to name a few. What's more is there was also no mention of Bethesda titles, a company that Microsoft had previously acquired, paying $7.5 billion for its parent company, ZeniMax Media. Oh yeah, I agree, Ferret. Yeah, Sony put themselves in a bad spot. Yeah. Unfortunately, it seems that there is a good reason why only Call of Duty was mentioned in the binding agreement, and that's reportedly due to the deal only including popular first-person series. Yeah. Outlets such as The Verge, we read this article yesterday, published Phil Spencer's original email, which was in like May of last year, to Jim Ryan proposing a 10-year deal to keep all current Activision Blizzard games, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Crash, Spyro, Tony Hawk, all that stuff on PlayStation. But Jim Ryan rejected it. Sony rejected it, right? And now the current deal, after we now know that Microsoft is definitely going to win, they're going to buy Activision Blizzard. They went back to Sony and said, here's your 10-year deal that you can have now if you still want one, but it'll only have Call of Duty. Jim Ryan might have made a big mistake, said Redditor Olerin9. Say goodbye to those classic Microsoft franchises like Crash, Spyro, Diablo, Overwatch, Tony Hawk. Those aren't in the deal, exclaimed a sarcastic Joey RVN. I couldn't care less about Call of Duty, another user added. I don't play those types of games. Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Dishonored, Doom, and Wolfenstein are the games I would want access to. Looks like that's not going to happen. Yeah, basically Ferret. Yeah, it was like, I think this is, everybody at Microsoft's just laughing probably, It's like, this is what you get. We tried to be cool and you didn't want to play ball and you wanted to try to make this hard for us, then, we're going to make money off your platform by having Call of Duty on it, and we're not going to let you have anything else that you could have had originally. So it's kind of like a big slap in the face, but also makes Microsoft look good. It's really funny. So in other words, once Microsoft officially acquires Activision Blizzard and you were looking to play games from a publisher other than Call of Duty, it might soon be time to invest in an Xbox Series X and S. Or how about just go to PC? How about that? That would be my advice. Come over to the dark side. Come to PC gaming. Get away from that console market, okay? It's gross. It's scummy. Stay away from it, man. Last article I have for the day. We'll read this. If anybody has anything else to add, let me know in chat. We'll address it before we dive into Dave the Diver for the rest of the day, okay? Who knows? Maybe we'll play a little bit of something else at the end of the day. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Diablo 4 Class Chameleons rejoice. Playing multiple characters is about to get easier. Blizzard has loosened the level requirements for some of its most powerful items. Come to the dark side, we have cookies. Yeah, dude. Yo, I like that outfit and the scythe. Sick. For an action RPG with 5 distinct classes, Diablo 4 makes it difficult to juggle multiple characters, especially when it comes to powerful late-game gear. Currently, level 100 Diablo 4 characters can only find items with a level 100 requirement, which means they're only useful if you have a stable of max level alts. Starting this week in Season 1, however, the level requirements on sacred and ancestral items will be capped, allowing you to save them for other classes. First mentioned in an interview with GameStar and later clarified by Associate Game Director Joe Pipiora on Twitter, sacred items will cap out at level 60 and ancestral items will cap out at level 80. That means that if you find a particularly good item on your level 100 main, you can save it for your other characters without having to grind tons of levels to equip it. You'll still need to be a high level, but not max level, right? Not quite clear if the new level caps will persist when you imprint a high level legendary aspect on an item, though. Right now, if you find a great piece of gear and you put a level 100 aspect on it, it raises the item's level requirement to match. If your alt is sub 100, you suddenly won't be able to use it, which is known as bricking an item in the community, right? If it does work, I'd assume the legendary aspects bonus will scale down to fit the item's power level or something similar. Don't get too excited. The new level caps don't mean you'll be able to equip a level 20 character with in-game gear. Sacred and ancestral items have a minimum requirement of 45 and 60 respectively. Instead, the level caps basically add a new use for high-level items that you don't need and will incentivize in-game players to trade loot with others. Right on. That's good. That's nice. It's a healthy change that will simplify Diablo 4's extremely convoluted item system. All that extracting, imprinting, and upgrading you can do to items can make it hard to follow what level they'll be by the end. Now you can reliably use your in-game characters to farm loot for your low-level characters, a popular activity in previous Diablo games. The new item level caps will synergize nicely with Season 1's new item, the Scroll of Amnesia, earned through the Season Journeys challenges. Scrolls of Amnesia let you instantly refund all your skill points and Paragon points for free. So if you pick up a fantastic item for your alt and they happen to have one of these new scrolls, you can easily respec and build around it. Once Blizzard finally, hopefully, adds build presets, the most tedious issues in D4 might finally be gone. And D4's first season will launch this Thursday, July 20th, guys. So don't forget about that. Yeah, what is it called? Season of the Malignant. Yes. We've touched on it a little bit. Yeah, baby. That's it. That's the news. Good stuff. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We're going to move on. We're going to play some games for the rest of the day. Great news segment. There's a lot of stuff to cover today. But we did it in a fairly timely manner for how many articles we were getting pushed to us this morning for the video gaming industry. You know, there was a lot of stuff, and we got through it in a pretty timely manner, I think. So you guys rock. Thanks for being a part of it. As always, we're going to move on and do some gaming stuff. I don't know if anybody's being introduced to this content for the first time. We always start off our streams with video gaming news. We stream 6 days a week right now. We could be back to 7 days a week in the future, but 6 days a week right now, as I'm taking a day each week to try to get caught up on some extra content stuff for the community. So every day but Wednesday, we start off at 6 a.m. CST. That would be 4 a.m. Pacific or 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And we always begin with the video gaming news segment before we dive into whatever gaming content we're going to have planned for the rest of the day. All of our previous video gaming news segments, gameplay, playthroughs, funny clips and highlights, all that stuff's out there on our YouTube channel as well as the Twitch channel. It's all in playlists and stuff like that. So if you're enjoying this, go check out some of that other content. If you're liking what you're being exposed to, come hang out with myself, the rest of the people that are part of our community here. I don't know. We got a lot of cool people that hang out here. Helps create an amazing spot for all of us to enjoy the world of video games, and we'd like to have more like-minded individuals come be a part of what we do. So other than that, man, happy Tuesday. Stay healthy, stay safe, be kind, and we will catch everybody on Thursday for July 20th edition of Video Gaming News. All right.